Jaume Torres has been good. He's been very good, with 3 wins and a runner-up so far this season. But when the Spaniard has been bad, he's been quite that, with 2 results near last. Sonny Canchen has 1 less win than Torres and 1 more second-place finish. But with only 1 bad result, the 4-time champion sits atop the points. He races, however, beneath these sword of Damocles because after being assessed a penalty at Spa for contact with Gianni Quintilier, another such incident could warrant serving the dreaded mandatory stop and go that all drivers fear. So with the championship still very much in doubt and the shadow of penalties looming, the schedule brings us to familiar surroundings. From WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca, it's time for round 7 of the MX5 World Tour. And you can see all the simulated Mazda action from Green Flag to Victory Donuts live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing channel via the iRacing eSport Network. Hello and welcome to the Sim Sports News Countdown to Green. Over the next 15 minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the MWT's round number 7 that will immediately follow. And here to do all of that is Stefan Slocker, joining yours truly, Bill Soups on, to bring you our Word's Eye View. Joe Peak has director duties armed with cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Stefan, even though this track is free content and original content on the iRacing service, it's commonplace for drivers to make mistakes here. Case in point, last night's Advanced Mazda Cup. Now, for the viewers, I issued this spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it yet and you plan on doing so, cover your ears for the next 10 seconds. Okay, here we go. Sonny Canchen lost any chance of winning because of a slowdown penalty picked up on the opening laps. This place can still spank a driver. What's it all about?
So, it's all about dirt here in Monterey. Buckets of dirt to be precise. Because if you go wide here, you're gonna bring it back onto the road, and if you're not careful, it can catch you up. Most importantly, this track is about not making mistakes though. As our spoiler in the AMC race shows, it's very easy to make them around these 2.2 miles. Most notably, you have to be careful around the top part of the circuit, also known as turns 6 through 9. Since this track only has 11 turns, that's quite a big section of this track. But to really be able to show you where else you need to be careful around here, let us take you on board a lap around the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca.
Alright, we've got Giancarlo Lenzi in the GSRC MX5, so let's do a lap around Laguna Seca. Coming across the start-finish line, we hit turn 1, which isn't much of a turn so much it is a place to set your car up for the Andretti hairpin. And honestly, the hairpin is probably your best opportunity for a pass on the whole course. It's a big, heavy braking zone, but watch out. With it being downhill, it's easy to overshoot the first apex. Get the car turned and try to get the power down before you glance that second apex, then before you know it, you gotta swing the car to the left to set it for 3. This turn feels like it tightens on exit, so be careful not to get on the power too early. From there, it's just a little lift into 4, but this kink is extremely important. If you lose your speed on the exit, you might be vulnerable down into turn 5. It's not the best place for an overtake, but that doesn't stop guys from trying. Now, as you head into this uphill left-hander, it's gonna be critical to carry your momentum in the little MX5. You certainly don't want to be too wide as you head into the notorious turn 6. It's going to be a light brush on the brakes, then snag the apex just right and let her track out. You can expect drivers who get this corner wrong to pay dearly. Once again, we continue to climb uphill, so momentum is key. Hold left and cross over to give yourself a nice straight braking zone into the corkscrew. Here the track absolutely disappears and you're going on memory of where the edges of the course are. If you manage to hit it right, you're thrown immediately into rainy curve. This long plunging turn has a very late apex, so swing it wide then cut in. From there, you'll switch sides once more and try your best to use the banking of turn 10 to really carry your speed. After that, you approach the final hairpin of turn 11. This is another good place to attempt to pass, but you gotta be sneaky and catch your opponent off guard. Just be careful because the long run means they could pull an over-under on you. From there, it's just a matter of accelerating up the hill and finishing your lap around Laguna Seca.
The disembodied voice of Joe Peak talking and taking the viewer around a lap of a road course. This time it is Laguna Seca. Let me take you a lap through the point standings. We talked about Sonny Cantion and Jaume Torres and what's going on with them. You can see that they are 34 points apart. How about this guy? Steven Van Opstroll had his best results coming off a second-place finish last time out at Spa. Then you got the two Frenchmen down there, Nicolas Berger and Jean-Francois Pinot, sitting 4th and 5th. The championship, though, really is going to come down to Cantion and Torres, who gets the best there. Let's go to Stefan to talk a little bit about the AMs.
Yeah, and in a SimSport News AM driver standings, we have Bjorn de Voort leading away ahead of Derek Holland in second place, who gained a position last lap around, which also was in 84 starts his best result with a 4th place there. Stefan Weenhoff in 3rd place, 58 points behind, who lost that position to Derek Holland. And Michael Wardman, 101 points already back in 4th place. And he is a complete rookie in this series, not only in the AMSTANGs, but also the first season taking part in the MX5 World Tour. Jerome Usen down there, down there in 5th place, 107 points behind. This lap around, he is taking his 101st start. So, yeah, nearly as many points behind the leader as he has starts to his name.
There you have the SimSports News AM driver standings. And, of course, the pro driver standings were brought to us thanks to the good folks at Hoisingville. I neglected to say that originally. All right, we're always picking up new viewers. Boy, this is season 17 for this series. We've been around for a long time, but if you're just tuning in, let's have Stefan tell you a bit about the season details.
Yeah, the venues are mirroring the Advanced Munster Cup Series, the official one. So we're here right now on round 7 of 11. Race distance today, 27 laps. Setups are completely open, but they must have one stop completed. Incident cap, they do not have one, but they use a special MPI bonus, where, if I remember correctly, you get...
yeah, however you finish, the higher you finish on the chart, the more points you get, so that's it.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a look and see what the simulated Poseidon has whipped up as far as weather goes. What do you got here, Stefan? How's it feel today?
It's feeling kind of spicy because we are on mostly cloudy here, which is quite interesting. Air temperature 64 Fahrenheit, track temperature 65, so tires won't be a problem here, at least we hope so. But that wind is kind of interesting. It's coming from the north with 18 miles per hour, humidity 50%, but they really have to be careful about that wind here today. These aren't downforce cars for obvious reasons, but still, such a wind can affect your car in some corners depending on where it comes from.
The best of the best in iRacing World Championships, as well as many top private leagues like the one you're watching right now, are showcased right here on the iRacing Esports Network. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe. GSRC is proud to be part of the IESN stable of broadcasters. With all the bookwork out of the way now, we can get down to the matter of what's going on track, and qualifying is just beginning to come in as drivers posting their times. Lap time's about a minute and a half and change, 1:35 around what they are doing right now. That's what Sonny Cantion just put in, sits at the top.
Yeah, Cantion putting his mark down there already, 6/10 ahead of Steven Van Opstal in second place, who himself is also 6/10 ahead of third place, who is right now the Frenchman of Nicolas Berger. So about 1.2 seconds right now between the top three, which is a margin that we don't normally see in this series.
Heading into 11 right now is Jaume Torres. Maybe we can pick him up as he's looking to put in a time. He's coming up to the start-finish line right now, car number 02. Hasn't put in a time yet. Let's see if he can get close to Cantion. And how about above Cantion?
Well,
1:35 flat.
Yeah, he isn't close to him, but he's in front of him. That's what counts here. About 2/10 ahead of him, as you said. And yeah, Torres showing that he really wants to go all the way with this championship.
Hear what Sonny is going to give an answer back as he works his way out of the corkscrew down through the rainy curve into 10 right now. Some tracks qualifying not so important. Certainly that was the case last time out at Spa, where passing is easy. Here, You can pass, but you have to really work on a little more. And if you're out in front, it is a much bigger advantage than it was last time out in Belgium. Here comes Sonny to the line. He put in a 134.9, a 135.2, and he knocks it down a little bit, a 135.1, but still not enough to knock Torres off the provisional pole.
Yeah, behind I'm also some very interesting development between Obstal and Berger. Berger did put in a 35.774, which would have been enough to get ahead of Obstal for third position, but Obstal at the same time, literally crossing at the same time, those two the line. Obstal put in a 10th faster of a lap time, so he actually stayed in front of Berger, even though Berger did manage to initially put in a faster lap time than Obstal.
As we look there at Robert Vilinga, a field large enough to put on a good show, but still relatively small as far as MWT standards, with only 14 drivers here today. We look at the Dutch driver heading towards the line, see if he can get a time in.
And a quick report on Torres. Quick report on Torres. Torres just came over the line again, and he actually had an off-track on his second lap, so he's very lucky that Sonny Kenshin didn't improve enough to take away his first place, because he would have not been able to respond on Sonny Kenshin.
We look at Vilinga, one of the three drivers who have yet to put in a time. Maurice Wirtz, another driver, and Mike Kiki still has to come in.
Not sure if Wirtz actually is going to be able to put in a lap, because he's not in the server right now. It's Vilinga. He had apparently an off track, or he just exited a pit lane. Either one of those, because his last lap did not count.
Yeah, and car number 38, the amateur Kias, is parked in pit lane. Looks like he's just going to decide to start from the back. There's the man chasing the four-time champion Sonny Kenshin in the points, Jaume Torres. We talked about it. He has 3 wins already this season. Certainly has the pace to race with Kenshin. And he's going to bring it in the pits. He's going to settle for his 135 flat. Kenshin is not, though. And I take it back. I think Kenshin is done. Looks like qualifying is just about done as well. These guys are still out there. A few guys trying to put in a time. Vilinga still trying to get one in.
Yeah. Vilinga, the only car to still needing to put a lap in right now. Oh!
And that one's not going to count. So with that done, we have 5 pro drivers sitting at the very top. The only amateur that is sneaking in where he doesn't belong is Clifford Evan. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we go to the grid. And with that shot from the above, I think that's probably grid time right now, if I know what my director's up to. So with that in mind, let's tell you what's going on. It is Jaume Torres. He is on the pole, flanked by Sonny Kenshin. Row 2 is populated by Steven Van Ostrel and Nicolas Berger. Berger, the Frenchman, very quick. Watch him in 4th position. Jean-Francois Pignon in the 5th spot. He's going to be inside of Clifford Evan, our top amateur driver. I'll take 2 more, Stefan, then give you the remainder there. Jordy Fike and Derek Holland go 7 and 8.
9th place goes to Michael Wortman, the amateur driver there, ahead of Bjorn de Voort in 10th place, the leading amateur driver in the championship right now. Sean Fungo in 11th place, and he's right in the last car to put in a lap in this qualifying. Mikey Key still sitting in pit lane, not going to be able to put in a lap. Same with Robert Vilinga and Maurice Wirtz, who will round out the starting grid of 14 today.
Just saying that Vilinga is still out there putting in a time. I'm not sure if this one's going to be able to count. He still has a little bit of time going on with him.
He was super wide just now at turn 6, so I'm pretty sure he went way too wide there, with nearly all 4 wheels off the track there and even off the curb. So pretty sure this lap will also not count for Robert here.
Just getting in a few warm-up laps. See what he's going to have to do is he's going to start well back in, I think, what's going to be the Baker's Dozen position. He comes in. This is corner 11. This is going to probably one of the most important corners on the track. Get that good run down the straightaway. All right, we've told you about the grid. Let's show you what we got. Oh, as we fly by. Boy, that's a nice little drone cam like that one. You can see the California sky pushing down on the racetrack here. As we look up from the blip, there's a complete shot of the racetrack. You can actually see the elevation there. Even though we're high up, you can see as they drive up the mountain, heading towards the corkscrew. 10 stories is the difference from track elevation here. Season number 17. This series has been with Global Sim Racing Channel since season number 5. Actually, the very first broadcast here on the Global Sim Racing Channel was a season 5 opener, won by our very own Amjad Yaman, who has since become the best director in the sim racing broadcasting company business.
Yeah, and as always, if you see Amjad racing, you have 3 free wishes. So spot him and wish away.
There you go. WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Our director says, I wish I was faster than him. That's They take the grid in staggered formation. Round number 7. 8, 9, 10, and 11 after this one. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn. It is Jaume Torres out in front, being stalked by Sonny Cantion. Van Ofstrel, Berger, and Pinot make the top 5. Taking a peek down in there in 6 is Clifford Evan. He gets in there and he's going to get that spot. Spinning up in front is our leader. Torres went around, happened right in front of Sonny Cantion. We'll take a look at that one a little bit later, but our leader, our pole sitter, is going to have some work to do now.
That was probably one of the most bizarre spins I've ever seen there from Jaume, as Michael Wardman is trying to take on Clifford Eben on the inside of turn 5. Not going to be able to do that, so Clifford Eben staying in 5th place.
Great racing going on back there in the AMS. Eben leading Workman, as those two are the top amateur drivers. Let me set the stage for you. What's going on? Cantion out in front, now being chased by Van Ofstrel, Berger, and Pinot.
You saw it at the bottom of your screen. Jordi Fike there, the number 09, nearly took the exit stage left there. Able to save it on the gravel with his left side. So good reactions there by Jordi Fike to still stay in this mud race.
Oh, a spin right in front of Torres. We'll come back and take a look at that one. Was really interesting. We'll take a look at that one too. Mikey Key got into it with Fergu. They got together right in front of Torres, who's trying to make his way through the field. Everybody keeps racing. Key saying that you came across. They don't want to do that little debate during the race. Save it till afterwards. All right, we're going to go back. We're going to go back now and take a look at this opening incident that really might be the turning point of the race. That happened in the very first corner. Just to be clear on this, there was no contact from Cantion, who was behind. Might have made contact, but only after Torres was well loose and on his way to going around.
Yeah, you're saying it. There was no initial contact, but he did help him spin it around. Actually, I'm not even sure there was any contact. I'm hearing some crashing sound, but I think that was because of the checkup from behind.
We'll right on board and watch it from Sonny's point of view.
Yeah, no, there was no contact between the two, but because Sonny had to check up so much, Clifford Eben actually ran into the rear of Nicolas Berger. So that was the crashing sound I heard.
So we talked about it before. Torres, he's very good when he's good, and he's very bad when he's bad. And right now he's back in 11th.
Well, the thing is, it's always better to make your mistakes in the first lap than in the last lap, and that's exactly what Torres did. Got it out of the way on the very first lap. So he still might be able to do something, get back up there. But yeah, as we already said, every mistake is very costly in this series because they do not have any drop rules.
And you saw the Mikey Key and Jean-Marie Fergoud get together. We'll look on this from Torres. He takes the basis action out into the dirt. Does not get into it. Picks up one spot. Torres in 11th right now, trying to make his way through the field. We come back live. Kanchan beginning to leave Van Opstroll behind. Van Opstroll doing the best he can to stay within the gap now, about a second. The front four start to separate. Tip of the hat to Michael Wortman in 6th position, our 2nd place amateur right now, trying to stay with Evan. Wortman up 3 spots. There will be a pit stop. We've talked about the guys up front. Let's talk about the back half of your top 10. We're looking at it right there. You're looking at Wortman in 6th. Derek Holland is chasing him. About 4 car lengths back, it's the Sheriff, Jordy Fike.
Yeah,
they work their way through Rainey. Go ahead.
It's quite a big pack. It actually starts at Nicolas Berger in 3rd place. And they're still close together, so that's really helping Torres right now, who's catching them rather quickly. But once he gets up to the back of Villinga, that's where it really starts. That's where he really has to work, because it's going to be cars in quick succession.
Yeah, it will be fun. And we're going to watch Torres work his way through those cars that are farther back there. I think Torres still has a legitimate chance at a podium. He's got a long time to go, 24 laps still of racing to go. Don't know if he has enough to get up to Kanchan. I think Ben Opstroll in 2nd will be a tall order unless Stefan makes a mistake.
Pretty much, yeah. He still, as you said, he still has the chance to get up to the podium, but he really would need mistakes from the guys ahead, just like Villinger had one right there. Torres taking advantage of that, and up he goes into 10th place.
He gets one more spot. We saw Robert Villinga try to put in a qualifying time, was not able to do it. He had to start in 12th, picking up one spot into 11th. Next on the hit list for Torres.
Oh, Torres!
No, he's off again! Oh, there'll be no more positions for Jaume Torres.
I just wanted to talk about a danger zone, turn 6, and Torres showing exactly what this danger zone is all about. You get a little bit of a slide there to the outside if you're not directly at the apex, and just go onto the dirt and completely lose it.
So, we look at the leader now. If you want to talk big picture, how's this? There are no drop races here, so here's what happens. This is really going to hurt Torres. Anything that happens on the track matters. If you miss a race, they give you a percentage of your average finish, so you can't just wipe away a bad result. It really comes back to hurt you. It's the nature of the unique scoring system of the MWT. All right, let's look at Derek Holland now. He is our 3rd place amateur driver, working on the back of Workman, trying to get up to number 2 in the M class. With a small field and a few of the top drivers now out of the race, give us a chance to look at some of these guys. They don't get a lot of screen time here on GSRC.
Yeah, and they're letting or leaving Bjorn de Vore, your current leader of the amateur standings, a little bit in the dust right now. Lap times wise, he was last lap 3/10 slower than Holland and Wortman, and it is a continuing trend that they have over him.
DeForest wins his amateur money, if that's even logically possible, by simply just finishing well. He's maybe not the fastest of the amateur, but he's really good at getting in good times. You're looking at Wortman now being chased up ahead. That's Holland.
Seems like there's a battle starting between Berger and Opstal for 2nd places. Berger is getting quite a bit closer. I think Opstal made a big mistake there, because last lap was a second slower than the one of Nicolas Berger in 3rd place.
Berger, the French driver, sitting 4th in the points. Van Opstroll racing out of Belgium, third in the points, so this is important as far as the championship goes. Ride on board, looking back, I believe, at Berger. DeForce got loose. No. Boy, he tried to save it. This is a real tank slapper that ended with a nose in the wall.
And it's once again the thing that I talked about in the track description. It's about not making those mistakes, because they can be really costly with all the dirt on the outside, and the fork just getting way too wide there, loses it over the bumps to the outside, into the wall he goes, heavy suspension damage and damage to his chassis, and he had to already retire the car.
Look how the car gets out here. He's out there and he thought he saved it, and we think now maybe we've lost Valinga as well. Look at this one. He has it. He comes all the way across and he brings it back, puts it into the wall.
His mishap started on the turn-in, actually. He was way too wide there with two tires on the dirt. Just loses it, as he said, into the wall. And also he heavy suspension damage. Grabbing quite a bit there.
Again, I made this point last round, but I think it's worth making again. You might think that DeForce, who's leading in the amateur standings, well, it won't be so bad because the field is small today. He'll still get a good points day. And the same you can think of Torres. At least he won't be finishing 25th, but that's not the way they do points here in the MWT. It's 100 for a win, 25 for last, and then they ration out the rest in between. So it doesn't matter the field side. If you finish last, you're only getting 25 points. So it will be a tough day for those guys. So we had a small field, and it grows smaller by the lap.
Oh, actually, we have side-by-side for second place into the corkscrew. Actually, Berger decided to step out of it again against Obstal, but Obstal starting to make more mistakes, especially through turn 6, second time pretty much in a row that he was way too wide there and had to step out of the throttle not to lose it to the inside.
One of those puffy billows floats across between the track and the sun. You can see it dark right now as they're racing beneath a cloud. About 3 car lengths back is Berger. Head down into the Andretti hairpin. Best battle on the track. We can afford to stay on here a little bit and watch a little bit of racing. They continue to battle. There's another good battle for 6th that we'll check in on in a little bit. Oh, let's go to there now. This is side by side. Yeah, this is good. That's Holland on the outside in the 80. Wortman on the inside. Go.
I just want to jump in there and tell him, no, they're side by side, but you realized it also there. Wortman going to the inside there. Actually, it started with Holland going to the inside of the Andretti hairpin right behind them. That's the pro driver of Jordi Fike trying to do something himself, and Derek Holland finally getting past there. Oh, that was very close, and Jordi Fike also sneaks by.
Wortman started to turn in, and I really thought he was going to get into the right rear Holland and turn him. He did not. Tip of the hat to Wortman for staying off of Holland. He loses not only the spot to Holland, though, the Sheriff gets that one as well. Good to see Jordi Fike back with us up into 7th now. We'll take a look at this one again. Took my breath away. Watch the car on the outside turn in. That's Wortman. Then decides, whoa!
Yeah, I thought he tried to do up and under there on Holland, but yeah, Holland just slowed it up a little bit too much than what Wortman thought he will be, so yeah, he nearly ran into the back of Holland there.
Yeah, the up and under was almost an up and through is what he had to do there as he mistimed the length of the car. All right, so those 3 guys continued to battle. I'll just tell you that Van Opstral's about 5 car lengths ahead of Berger. Berger had to back off a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, this battle might get interesting now with Jordi Fike actually trying to overtake now Holland. got better of it though. Because if Jordy Fike holds up Derek Holland too much, it might benefit Wortman there and be able also to sneak by, as Jordy Fike did on him.
The MWT prides itself on how they differentiate between amateur drivers and pro drivers. They do a really good job. Seems like every race, the pros are all up top and the AMs are all on the bottom. Right now, Jordy Fike does not like being a pro driver, not being the last of the pro drivers. He'd like to work his way through as he's working on Holland. He'll have to get around Holland, then he'll have to get around Clifford Evan if he wants to be with his pro friends. We're looking off the back. The best battle on the track right now. Look at Workman not giving up. Workman picked up a minor penalty for a mistake last round, but he's going to be okay.
Yeah, and I don't know, Jordy Fike, he's driving a little bit sloppy, making a few, or actually a lot of little mistakes. And with that, he's now starting to hold up Wortman behind him. So yeah, Fike, normally not in a position we would see him to race, but today it seems kind of fitting for him down there in 7th place behind 2 amateur drivers.
Jordy had to miss a couple of weeks as he took a vacation to Hawaii to take care of a few personal matters over there. So maybe he's still...
There we go, that explains everything.
Time. Yeah.
Having too many Mai Tais there, yeah, that's not good for you.
Thank you, Steph. I was trying to figure out what the drink might be. Let's look in on the Van Ofstrel, take a peek how he's doing. He's opened it up a bit. Down the corkscrew he goes. Boy, I love that shot. That really shows you the elevation there. Van Ofstrel doing a good job.
Actually, Jordy Fike is right now side by side with Holland, but thinks better of it. Holland, though, too deep into the corkscrew. Can he hold it? That's going to be a slowdown for Derek Holland there. Has to get out of it, and now it's going to be interesting against Michael Wortman. Can he defend his position? Yes or no? Yes, I can.
He loses that one spot, and fortunately the iRacing stewards let him get back up to speed quickly, but no, I think he's going to lose it right now. When we go to replay, then we can go ahead and stay on this the whole way. We'll see the slowdown here. Let's stay on it for a while.
We actually might have to stay into that until turn 3, because they're side by side going into the Andretti hairpin.
Yeah, he pays the price. I thought the pass was going to be made down into 11. As now you look at Wortman here. I don't know if he's still serving the penalty or if Wortman just dives it in there.
I don't know, it looked kind of weird how he dove it to the right side there quite quickly. So I think he was serving the last few tenths there of his penalty. But as you can see, Wortman had a big mistake there out of turn 11, and he's going to come back into the Andretti hairpin now.
We're still on replay, and you can see that Wortman got the spot, but then he had to give it back, and so Holland gets it again. We come back live, and so now you see Holland racing in 7th, Wortman behind him. Jordy Fike has left him behind. Now he's got to get up. He's got a long way to go, 6 seconds to get up to Evan.
Yeah, the amateurs showing we have the name amateurs, but we can fight as hard as the pros. And sure as hell they do, and they fight very cleanly. Oh, Holland with another mistake down the corkscrew. Second mistake in a row from Derek. Very interesting. Maybe feeling a little bit of the pressure that Wortman and Fike did put onto him.
And again, keep in mind, I don't want to drill this point home, but since the points are rationed, every one of these positions, gain or loss, are worth all that many more points. As it's really passing a car in a field of 12 is like passing 3 cars in a field of 36, if that makes sense to you. So every position very important, especially when the field is small like it is.
Talking about position, say, Soup, do you still remember who our leader is?
I've heard of him. His 4 wheels scare the cockadoo from Kintor East to Newman Dew. It is Sonny Catch Me If You Can't, and 4-time champion out in front by, oh my goodness, 6 seconds over Stefan Van Opstal. Van Opstal coming off his best result ever. He's a veteran of the series, had a 2nd place last time out of Spa, looking to duplicate that again today. Racing in 2nd there. I don't know about this though. There's a pit stop coming, and Berger I think is quicker. I think it's easy for Stefan for Nicholas Berger to be a little more patient, knowing that he's no chance of catching Sonny Catch. And look at this though, as they work their way through the corkscrew, both drivers keeping it clean. Let's stay on this a while. Oh, the sheriff with an issue.
Let me guess, it's turn 6, and sure as hell it is. And guess what it hit? He ran it too wide into turn 6, spinning it out on the dirty stuff. He actually was able to save it. Good reactions there from Jordy Fike.
Compared to what happened to Torres, where he nosed it into the wall right here. He just gets it going again.
Yeah.
So he loses those positions to Holland and Boardman, but he has time to get him back. We're going to ride on board with Jordy.
The difference between Jordy and Jaume was that Jaume just didn't care anymore once he started to lose the car. He stayed full in it.
Yep.
Jordy, though, as soon as he realized that he's losing the car, he slammed on the brakes, turned it quickly to the right, and was able to save it like that and keep it out of the wall.
I think there's a little difference of philosophy there, or just an attitude. I think Torres said, I will catch this one. And he didn't. I think Jordy knows, I'm not going to catch this one. Let's see if I can salvage this. Let's go to Van Opstal now. He is under attack from Berger. A car length back.
Yeah, really quick, we don't need to go there, but Michael Wardman, he's starting to drop away from the back of Derek Holland now, so that battle for P2 in your M class has pretty much driven apart, so to speak.
Oh, this is a close one. Boy, he is right there. Bergman all over the back of Van Opstal. And while that goes on, I hear some other contact. It's Clifford Evans spun the car. Not only spun it, he nosed it into the wall from 5th position. And a pass on screen at the same time.
Or is it? The momentum shifts back to Opstal, Van Opstal, and it seems like he's gonna be able to get back, but Berger will have the inside into the Mario Andretti hairpin.
Look at the preferred position here from Berger. I think he should be able to hold it here. Now watch for the up and under. Here it comes. Can he get a drive off? And all this horseplay has brought Pinot right into the mix. We'll gift you that replay on an Evan in a minute. We'll watch this battle live as it happens. I can report that Evan is he taking a tow? Yep. Yep, and he's out. Great battle here for second. Berger, Van Opstal, and Pinot. I was just about to say, with Fike having that problem, that it took the pressure off of Evan. He didn't have to worry about Jordy running him down anymore. Before I could get to that point, Clifford put it in the wall. But don't worry, if you like Clifford, check in tomorrow as he'll be part of the... What is that called, Director? Can you help me on that? The Big C's Spectacular. Let's call it that. I'm not sure what it is, but it's going to be a MX5's racing tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. It's big fields, rookie, a lot of thick setups, good large field of racing.
Oh, I was just scrambling there if I really named it right, the Mario Andretti hairpin. Sure as hell, phew, I was right, it's named after Mario Andretti. That was a lucky break there for me, calling it the Mario Andretti hairpin, but Van Opstal still trying to chase after the back of Berger, who makes a little bit of a mistake, but keeps it together on the second hairpin and drives out again.
Oh, look at here he's got to run. He's going to see if he can peek in here as they work their way down into 4. 4's not really up. 5 you can make a pass on if you want to get in there. You can take a peek in there. Side-by-side 2-6 perhaps. Let's stay on this battle. Jean-Franc Pinot, try as he might, just doesn't seem to have the pace to stay with these guys unless they start to have horseplay in front of them. Through 6. All 3 cars negotiate that. Up the hill now towards the corkscrew. They race 10 seconds behind Sonny Canyon. Down the corkscrew. A little tighter line from Ben Offstrom. Through rainy curve. He is right there, just a car length back. Oh my goodness, Ben Offstrom. On Berger, tighter than a scuba suit on a fat man as they head into 11. Pretty good drive from Van Offstrom. He should be in the tow. He is 1.5 car lengths back. Full throttle, running out of straightaway. Not going to be able to dive it in there. Berger leaves the inside open if you want it. Van Offstrom can't get there.
You know what this does? It actually lets Pinot catch up to the 2 again, so the teammate of Berger is now right behind the car of Van Opstal, so he might actually play some part of a role here in this fight if he's able to get onto the back of Van Opstal.
There is a pit stop. They all start with the same amount of fuel. That doesn't mean they burn the same amount of fuel. As racing smooth means anything about burning fuel, you gotta think that Pinot probably is in the best situation as he's really smooth back there, watching the excitement in front of him. Van Offstrom a half car length back. One mistake from Berger and Van Offstrom will be sitting right alongside of him. They'll be able to share a milkshake. Down the corkscrew again. Van Offstrom really comfortable with the tight line out of the corkscrews through rainy. Falls back a little bit. Best battle on the track right now. We can stay on this one. Working. Lap number 16, 12 to go. Oh, and now here's a... Pinot is going to make a peel off and make a pit stop.
Not gonna lie, our director made me jump there because I thought Pinot crashed into turn 10, but he's just diving into the pit lane there. Actually, let's have a look. Holland goes past, Waterman goes past, so the battle for the M lead is staying out, but Van Opstal versus Berger much closer.
With a small field like this, with attrition and a small field to start with Berger and Van Offstrom fighting each other, maybe their lap times are not the fastest. Maybe Pinot comes in, races all by himself, gets on some fresh, probably right side tires, because you can take 2 tires without it costing you any time. It takes longer to put the fuel in than it does to take 2 right side tires. Maybe he'll be faster. Maybe he'll be able to do the undercut. The problem is Berger and Van Offstrom realize this. They may want to settle down and just see if they can do some hot laps right now, working through 6. Again, best battle on the track. Took a peek in there, and that's just going to slow them down. Pinot is out. He has clear track ahead of him. He is 6 seconds behind Jordi Fike. Fike racing in 6, but the battle right now for 2nd. 11 seconds behind Sonny Canyon.
Does anyone take it to the pits? Yes, Nicholas Berger goes into pit lane. Very tricky pit entry, as some might know here from serving fast repair. But now it's going to be interesting where his teammate is going to come out in regards to him. And also, is he going to take some tires or not?
Through the corkscrew is Pinot.
I can report Derek Holland, the leader of the amateur class. He is also taking to the pit.
Berger has found his stall. Pinot.
Oh
and
no.
Again. Oh, what happened to Jean-Franc?
Did he speed in pit lane? It sure does seem like, as he has to take it to the pit stall again.
That looks like what the evidence would indicate. Berger is out. So the best laid plans of Jean-Franc Pinot go up in smoke. He starts to roll. He's going to come out behind Fergu. Now, these guys have yet to make their stop. Holland has made a stop. Does he get out in front of Pinot even with the second stop? Oh, I'm just looking at Holland. Pinot is still in there. Now he rolls.
Interesting. He had a 22-second pit stop there, Pinot. So that is more than the usual 15 seconds that you get for speeding in pit lane.
I was hoping that I would get to call a pass for the lead because Sonny Canchin came in for a stop. Van Opstal is going to follow as well.
Yeah, seems like that this is as far as they can go. Let's see if Michael Wortman, the current amateur leader, is able to go another lap, or if he has to come into... Nope, he has to come into.
Berger just coming out of the corkscrew, just got off on the sand. The only reason I bring that up is that might be an opportunity. Would it not be for... Well, I guess... No, I guess there are... Maybe Van Opstal, yeah, okay. This might be interesting here. I think Van Opstal is probably going to get in and out before Berger comfortably. Let's see.
Well, don't forget the pit lane has the closer or the shorter line around the circuit here for the very first few turns. Berger actually loses quite a bit. Look at that gap.
Yeah, it was the mistake that I saw coming out of the corkscrew that cost him any chance of getting to Van Opstal. The good news for Berger is I think he might be faster than Stefan. That interval, 3.5 seconds with 9 laps to go.
And the interesting part here right now about Michael Wortman and Jordi Fike is you don't see any Derek Holland at all. Anywhere close to them. Derek Holland actually just now going into the Andretti hairpin here. He, I don't know, maybe had a big mistake or took 4 tires there because he lost a lot of time to the 2 guys ahead of him.
Their pit stop time's relatively the same. Yeah, but Holland well back now. So a nice little battle for fourth between Wortman and Fike.
Oh, I see. I found it. It's into turn 5. He loses the back. Does a 360 actually out of the turn. Quite a slow 360 if I might add. And goes back onto the racing line. So that's what happened to Derek Holland. That's why he lost so much time to the 2 guys of Fike and Wortman.
Well, with pit stops out of the way, we do have a feature called the Trip and Drees back marker shadow, or Trips back marker shadow. We're going to look here at a replay. We think we might be able to see Holland. Nope, we're really pushing our luck to look for this one. Hey, maybe we got it. We'll go back live. There's Holland, though, racing. All right. The back marker shout-out is always an adventure when we have a large field. Not so much pressure right now. So, Stefan, you get to do it. I think this time we'll do it complete through the field on this one. So why don't you take the back 4, and I'll take the next one.
All right. Well, we're starting off with Jean-Marie Fugu, racing out of France from 11th. Into 8th right now. He's the last remaining car on the track. 14 started, 8 are still racing. Very quiet race for him. Next up on the racetrack is Michael Wortman. Actually, no, that's not right.
No.
The next car.
Yeah. Wortman took another stop, yeah.
Interesting development there. So Wortman might actually
this will be fun.
Be the last car in this
Let's stay on this because he's going to be in a battle with Fergu here. They're going to come around. It's going to be really close.
Oh, you know what, Wortman, that was a 17-second stop. I think he had a speeding in pit lane penalty. It's catching up people because this car does not have a pit speed limiter. But yeah, Michael Wortman, he is right now in 7th position. He was the leader of your amateur class, of which only 3 drivers are left. Jean-Marie Fugu, Michael Wortman, and then I think the next car is already him. No, that's Pinot. Actually in 6th position, 53 seconds behind Sonny Canchin. He started in 5th place, right now in 6th place, and up the road is Derek Holland, who is your third remaining amateur class car in this field. He started in 8th into 5th. He himself had some problems on the outlap, but he's right now your leader of the amateur class. And who is next up on the line, Soup?
Well, let's take down the graphic. I'm not doing a back marker shout out and have Sonny catching up there, but let's go to Jordy Fike right now in 4th. He's got 7 seconds on Holland, 25 seconds to get to the guys who are racing really quick up front. Let's talk about the guys racing for a podium spot. Nicholas Berger, he's got some work to do, 4.4 seconds to get up to Stefan Van Offro. Berger started in 4th, up 1 spot. Here is Stefan Van Offro coming off his all-time best performance last time out in Spa with the second, looking to duplicate that right now, racing in second. He seems comfortable right now. Only a mistake with 7 to go will give Berger a chance to catch him. And this is all going on behind 4-time champion Sonny Catch Me If You Can. I think he's going to live up to his nickname right now, as no one's going to be able to catch him. Spoiler alert, as I'm going to talk about last night's race, cover your ears for a few seconds. Sonny Kenshin gave away a race last night. He's going to come back, pick up the win here at Laguna Seca. 8 cars racing right now, Steph.
Let's try to have a little bit of a game here in the broadcast chat. We have Fugu in 8th right now. He is about 20 seconds up the road from Kenshin. Will Kenshin be able to overtake him in the last 6 remaining laps, yes or no?
Bless you, Stefan Slocker. That's a great idea. Boy, that's catching is quick. A lap time of 1:35, and what's the interval? We think about 20 seconds back? Boy, it's going to be hard. Maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty much bang on 20 seconds right now between Sonny Kenshin and Fugu. Fugu right now going up to the last turn where Sonny Kenshin through the corkscrew he goes.
Well, let's take a look at some lap times then that these guys are running. Fugu's been running, when he's been out there, running about a 1:40. Sonny Kenshin running well faster than that, so, I think he might get there. Kenshin's lap time is about 1:36. 4 seconds a lap. 6 laps to go. That's 24 seconds. It'll be fun.
Well, the thing is that you have to calculate in there is that Jean-Marie, he has the car of Michael Wortman ahead of him, so he has something to chase for.
Sonny Kenshin, though, is always chasing. Sonny Kenshin, always looking to be fast.
Oh, Derek Holland with a mistake through the corkscrew yet again.
Yeah. And that's going to cost him a slowdown penalty, and he's going to lose a spot to Jean-Franck Pinot.
Well, the good thing is this opens up the battle there for P5 now between Pinot and Holland.
Pinot qualified in 5th, has worked his way back up to 6th. We'll take a look at the replay through the corkscrew. I'm going to give some expert commentary because I've done this probably more times than anybody on iRacing service. You just go there, and then you go there.
When I was, when I was a rookie in iRacing back then, when we still had the old MX5, where we were also able to choose between the Roadster and the normal car of the MX5. I used to drive in 1 week 10 races here, and out of those 10 I won 9 races, so I really like this track and car combination. The global MX5 not that much different driving wise from the old MX5, which for obvious reasons because they're pretty much the same car, but I always found this combination MX5 to Laguna Seca just be one of the best fitting combinations ever created.
First thing I wanted to do when I joined the service was get into MX5 and race Laguna Seca. It drove me to Legends at Lanier because I figured I could make those corners. Good battle here, Pinot and Holland. Battle for 5th. Minute 37 seconds is what Fugu is now behind. Oh no, sorry, I got the wrong time on that one. Going to give you a timing and scoring.
Roughly 14, 15 seconds.
Yeah, thank you.
Seems like Pinot is able to slowly but surely drive away from Derek Holland. Last lap, a 10th between the two in favor of Pinot, but Pinot, I think he just is more consistent with all of his turns, and even though it's just a little bit, it is enough to drive away.
We're working lap 23, 27 laps on the schedule. If you think there's too many laps in one of these events, want to tune in next week, or actually in 2 weeks for round number 8. There'll only be 6 laps as we go to the Nürburgring. You can see the dusty countryside of Laguna Seca.
Sometimes I really do wish that they would have scanned this track in the spring. Same with Sonoma, because they look just so much nicer in the spring with all the green around them.
I live in California. Honestly, it's a wonderful, beautiful state to live in. But if you base your travel plans based on the iRacing between Fontana and Sonoma and this place, you wouldn't want to come here.
No, you would come to think this is probably the most bone-dry
Yeah.
place in the earth, but no, they really are beautiful. I always like to make the jokes with Sonoma when in the car, thus they're testing there in the spring. It just looks so out of place when everything is green.
Well, it was a small field to start with, just 14 drivers. Actually, only 13 took the grid. Then we had attrition come in and caught our pole sitter, Jaume Torres. Caught our amateur leader, Bjorn de Forsch. Robert Valenga. Clifford Evan, who was racing up in 5th when he made a mistake. 8 cars out on the track right now. Best battle we are looking at. That is the Frenchman Jean-Franc Pignot. Ahead of driver racing out of Indiana, Derek Holland. But with that last name, he's an honorary Dutchman. Oh no! And Holland is loose. And he's in the dirt. He tries to bring it back.
Though.
Yeah.
Great save by Derek Holland, the Indiana driver. Yeah, just pretty much the same thing as Fike did a few laps ago. Takes it too wide, but as soon as he loses it, slams the brakes and safe.
Corner number 6, man. It is a tough one. So that gives Pinot now about a 3-second lead on Fike, because everyone's just going to on Holland. Everybody's just going to be able to bring this home now.
Well, I have to give you an update, Soup, on our little question earlier.
Okay.
We're coming to the white flag with Sonny Kenshin coming to lap 27, and it's still about 5-6 seconds between Fugu and Kenshin.
He can see him. Honestly, I think if Sonny were listening to the broadcast and we know we made this an issue, he might be working harder. Always the entertainer, Sonny Kenshin will do anything to make a broadcast more fun to watch. Why don't we put the camera on our leader there? We'll see what he looks like for a lap. There he is. In his familiar number 59. 4-time champion on his way to a 5th. With the troubles from Jaume Torres today, this is going to make that crown fit a little more easier on top of Kenshin's head, as it's just now 4 races away. Working through 5. He's got the dreaded corner number 6 to negotiate. It's caught so many people out, he only needs to do it one more time. quick little flick of the wheel to the left, and he's through that one. Up the hill. The victory champagne is waiting, so he works the corkscrew. Through Rainy Corner, down into 10. Only thing between Sonny Cantion and his third win of the season is the sharp left-hander that is 11. He gets that one, nothing but the checker flag ahead of him. Round number 7, the 17th season of the MX5 World Tour goes to Sonny Cantion. Steven Bernofstro gets second. Nicholas Berger got a ways to go. We'll stay with him until he comes around and picks up that final podium spot. All the other drivers seem safe in their position, so assuming that disaster doesn't happen to Fike, Pinot, Holland, Workman, or Fugu, we'll go ahead and take a break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. But don't go far. We'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. You're watching GSRC on IESN. Stay close. Welcome back to the Haskinfeld Wrap-Up Show, streaming your way on the Global Sim Racing channel via the iRacing Esport Network. You know, Haskinfeld Solutions, currently being used by countless professional teams and drivers, is now within budgetary reach, all without having to compromise on realism and engineering value. They offer advanced vehicle software and hardware able to simulate any combination of race car and track. Be a better race car driver and get in touch today at hoistingfeld.com. All right, let's give you the finishing order here of the 14 drivers that went to the starting grid for round number 7, Season 17 MX5 World Tour. I'll take the top 7. I'll leave the bottom 7 to my partner. Sonny Kanchan, a pro driver, gets the win. Starts in the second position of the grid, but when a mistake was made by the pole sitter, Kanchan was able to ease it all the way home for his third victory of the season. Stephen Van Ostro, coming off his best performance career last time at Spa, doubles that today as he gets another second place finish ahead of Nicholas Berger, who, try as he might, could not advance. Berger has to settle for third. Jordy Fike gets fourth position, as he indeed did not have an amateur between him and the leader. Jean-Franc Pignol is in fifth spot. Sixth and seventh go to Derek Holland, our top amateur, and Michael Wortman. Steph?
Jean-Marie Fugu is able to stay ahead of Sonny Kanchan for the last few laps. Separated only by 2 seconds, he stays on the lead lap. He's also the last car to finish the race, so every single finisher, the top 8, are on the same lap, which is a little bit of a success, if I would say so. Clifford Abbott, the first car not to finish, 15 laps down. Robert Vilenga, 21 laps down. Beyond the Fork, our leader of the Amateur Championship, coming into this race, 22 laps down in 11th place. Torres in 12th position. They're wrecking out quite early in the race. Mickey Key also sadly wrecking out of this race down in 13th position. And Maurice Wirtz not being able to take the green flag down in 14th position, not being able to start the race.
All right, we're going to be able to talk to our race winner here today, Sonny Kanchan. We'll bring him down in here. Sonny, after the first real corner on the first lap, where things got a little exciting, it got a little easier after that.
Yeah, it was exciting. The qualifying was exciting. I wasn't expecting Torres to trump me on that, but I did make a mistake here and there. Though, yeah, you know, credit to him, and also feel really sad for him for what happened in the first real corner. I was just trying to be patient. I was trying to push the issue after the first corner and the second corner, which is the actual corner that happened.
Right.
He took it too hard and tried to avoid him, and I feel sorry for him though. But yeah, that was what happened.
Did you really had to get off the throttle there to let that car clear before you can get that going?
Yeah, I had to take that action, so to clear throttle and also keep an eye on at the back of me and Steven. He was good at that, so he didn't bump it.
Okay, Sonny, corner number 6 cut everybody out. I'm going to take advantage of having you here. Tell me how to take corner number 6 without crashing every time and still be fast.
I have a thing on the corner ever since I raced on this track on iRacing. That was a track that I have some sort of a mental workout every race. Even before I take the corner, I look ahead at the exit. You know, corner 5, just soon after I take the corner on the exit, I watch out from a distance, and then I know that it's going to come soon, and basically I lift off a little. I take the corner entry as from wide as possible, so to hit the apex as late as possible. And when you get it right and when you're in the flow, you have to be consistent. It's not easy. Saying it is easy, but doing it, you have to do it many times to get consistent. So I think it's about expecting the corner first, and then going as wide as you can. So I always have my 2 wheels on off track. You kick up some dust, but that's not easy again. And then keep an eye on. Always look up. Keep an eye at the apex a little towards the exit, and take the late apex, and then push it out. You may have to do some really quick movements on your steering wheel to control the rear, but it depends on the setup and everything. But once you get the flow, that was the first very real corner on this track. When I first joined iRacing, that was a big challenge for me. So that was a mental workout every time I look at it. Wow, here we go again. I love it when I make it. So.
I got goosebumps waiting to try it now. I think I got it. I listened to everything. Hey, congratulations on the win. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Sip. Appreciate it. You have a good time as well. Thanks, everyone. GSRC. Cheers.
Sonny catching our race winner today. Stefan?
Yeah, and we are going to catch up now with the other Steve, from one Steve to the other.
Hello, good evening, guys.
Second place for you.
Yeah,
how does this race feel to you?
Yeah, it was a hard race for me. In practice, I wasn't nearly able to do a decent lap. So I was happy to finish without crashing anything.
Well, finishing without crashing, you very much did. Laguna Seca has its own challenges. What were the biggest challenges for you?
Yeah, to drive stable laps. And I saw Berger coming really fast. So I had to keep my head cool, but I failed at that. So I had to slow down. And I got nervous, and he got closer. But yeah, I hoped that I would do a better pit stop, and that succeeded. So I'm happy to keep 4 seconds in front and finish in second.
Yeah, good, very good pit stop you did there. Now, I didn't catch that. Were you taking tires on your pit stop?
No, I didn't take tires because I thought I could start off without them, and I had a stable car. So and also advice from my teammate Jordi Fike. Yep.
Well, never change a winning strategy. Quick look out to the next race at the Nürburgring. How are you looking forward to that?
Holy hell! It's the Nürburgring, the long track.
Yes,
yep.
Sir.
Oopsie. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of practice this week. It's been maybe 5-6 years from the time from R Factor 1, so gonna need a lot of practice. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, we are gonna release you then in the wild, and you can start practicing your runs around the Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Okay, guys, see you there. Congratulations, Sonny, and. Congratulations to you. Another good job, man. Love your job.
Thank you very much. Also, great job from you there. That was Steve Manopstal, your second place finisher, a whopping 22.5 seconds behind his teammate of Sonic Henshin and Soup. This was a rather interesting race around Laguna Seca.
It was indeed, with some ramifications. Van Offshore was up 4 positions to get to third, and now with Yame Torres having his issues and Van Offshore getting his second 90-point back-to-back runner-up position. Look for him to climb up the point standings as well. It's going to be fun. Not sure if anyone's going to get to catch him, but the battle for second is going to be exciting. You'll want to come back in 14 days. That's how long Stefan will have to work on that one, and we'll see how Van Offshore does when we go to the ring. Hey, let's go ahead. We're done here from California, so let's thank all the people who made this possible, starting with the guys at the Quality Racing Syndicate for organizing the series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it here on the Hoisingville Wrap-Up Show. Thanks to the sponsors, Sim Sports News and Hoisingville. There you go. You look at them. Sim Sports News is a good place to go if you want to get caught up on all the latest racing sim news. The screen right now is some of the equipment and software used to stream cyberspace into your place. The additional music, thanks to June Lalonde. Read the script, Soup. Additional thanks to June Lalonde, who provides the wonderful music. See the screen to how to get in contact with her. The MX5 World Tour returns for round 8 from the Nürburgring. It's the big track. GSRC via ISN will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. Next up on IACN broadcast is GSRC's coverage of the Batteries Not Included Championship. Williams FW31s at Road America. Hey, that's a good combination. Coverage begins Sunday, April 13th. That's 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time for those commentators here in California that have to get up at that ungodly hour. Sliding across our screen right now are some of the upcoming GSRC broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you want more information about us, Global Sim Racing Channel, Twitter GSR Channel, Facebook Global Sim Racing Channel, Instagram at GSRC_Graham. And if you haven't done so yet, head on over to our YouTube page and hit that big red button and become a subscriber. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Steph and Joe and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching as Sonny Cantion gets his 3rd win of the season here at Laguna Seca. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.